Hey, what's going on, guys? Aaron here. Welcome to the video. So this is an updated video on the voting process for FTX. So we got an amended plan a few days ago. So I want to go over the updates with that, talking a little bit about opting out of releases, the Bahamas process, and just supplementing my video I did a few weeks ago. So I'll try to make this as short and concise as I can. Some of this will be repeated info from my last video. So starting out here, most of you guys got an email that looks something like this, and then you can click on the link and it'll take you to a page that looks something like this. The numbers here for your plan may look different, but if you have something here that says like 6A or 7A, you can click the link right here, and that's where you can submit your ballot. So the first page, just information about your ID, your name, and your email. The next page just shows that we have until August 16th at 4 p.m. Eastern to vote. Now, I will say that voting is not required to get your claim. Your claim still exists. They owe you money, whether or not you decide to vote or not. So that's the first question a lot of people have asked me. Do I need to vote? The answer is no, you do not need to, but it is your right to vote, and I would suggest that you vote. So next, we have the whole Bahamas opt-in. Now, nobody is going to tell you what to do here. I will note that the default, if you don't vote, it means that you are not opting into the Bahamas process, and the bankruptcy process will be filed and go through the U.S. court system. In the document that came out a few days ago, they did update what cash means. So this is something that people were waiting for because prior, let's say you lived outside of the United States, they were saying they would send you a check in the mail. And that was going to be a big issue for people that did not live in the United States in certain countries. Now they are saying that cash includes US dollar peg stablecoins. So that could be Tether, USDC, whatever stablecoin they want to use, also including bank deposits, checks, and other similar items. So they added this. So anytime it says you are going to get cash, it means that they could possibly pay in stablecoin. So for a lot of people, that reduces the reasons that people would maybe want to opt into the Bahamas and then take their claim out of the US courts. So again, nobody is going to suggest one way or the other because that would be like a legal thing. So I'm not a lawyer. None of this is financial advice. But if I was telling a friend who lived in the United States, I would tell that friend, no, don't click that box. Now, a couple things. If your KYC is really messed up and you can't figure it out, maybe there's a reason to go to the Bahamas. Or if you have a claim that's less than $10 and you really want that $7 or $8, I heard that maybe the Bahamas will still pay claims less than $10. So those maybe are two reasons to go to the Bahamas. But right now, from everything we know, the timing of payments and also the amount of money you get or the percent of your claim, there isn't anything to say that there would be any differences. So the next page will look something like this. You have your scheduled amount, and then you have your voting amount. And for most people, these will be the same figures or the same dollar amounts here. The next one says stipulated amount for voting. So for a lot of people, this will be the same number as the scheduled amount and the voting amount, but for some people, it actually is different. On this Medium article, they go over the difference between the voting amount and the stipulated amount. So this would apply to you if the amount here in item 4 is different than the amount here where it says voting amount. So here it says the stipulated amount is the value you agree to for your claim, which will be used for voting allowance and distribution. If you agree to this amount, it will override any other amounts listed in your proof of claim. So that would be if you click this box, this amount overrides your voting amount. The voting amount is the value used to determine your voting power on the plan. So that would mean like how many votes and the amount of votes or the dollar amount of votes it takes to pass the plan. That would be your voting power. The voting amount is based on either your proof of claim or the debtor's schedules, depending on whether your claim is disputed or not. So for those of you guys that it's different, this is what this article suggests you do. review both amounts. So compare the stipulated amount and the voting amount. Again, item 4 is the stipulated amount. Item 3 is going to be the voting amount. If you agree to the stipulated amount, check the box on the ballot and vote to accept the plan. This will make the stipulated amount the official value for all purposes, basically your voting power and your claim. If you do not agree with the stipulated amount, do not check the box. Your original voting amount will be used, but you might still face customer preference actions. So I am just reading off of this Medium article I found on Twitter. This could be wrong. This could be incorrect. So if you have vastly different stipulated amounts and voting amounts, it may make sense to research this further, but this is just what I am seeing right now. So next we have the convenience claim election, and I explained this very thoroughly in my last video on this. I really do not suggest anybody or very few people click this box. It'll drop your claim down to $50,000, and I do not know if they will ever allow you to change. My guess is they won't. Even if you do this by accident, this is extremely consequential. So do not click this box. So if I was talking to a friend and my friend said, "Hi, my claim is $50,000 to $500. So $500 above the threshold, $50,500, right? I may say, okay, drop down to $50,000. You'll get in total a less amount of crypto, 119% for a convenience class, which will be paid 60 days after the plan confirmation. So maybe end of this year, but probably early next year. So you'll get 119%, but you're not going to get as much as if you did not drop down. But then again, it may take possibly years to get another 20%, 25, 28% or so. So that hopefully makes sense to you. And if that does not make sense, don't click the box. Better not to click it. So hopefully that makes sense there. Voting on the plan, this is completely up to you. I'm not going to say one way or another about whether you should vote or not. On this website, which I will list below, again, this website could be completely wrong. I'm not validating or verifying it's all correct at all, but some people in the FTX community have referenced this. So pros of voting to reject the plan: potential for better terms in the future, maybe retaining more legal rights. The downsides of rejecting the plan: delays in distributing the assets. Pros of voting to accept the plan: faster resolution, this all gets resolved and you get your money. And there are some maybe cons of accepting the plan too. So again, that is totally up to you whether or not you want to vote for or against the plan. Now, with voting for the plan, it either gets approved or it doesn't. It's one or the other. So your voting power is combined with other people's voting power, and with that, the plan will be approved or it won't be. Now, when we get to this part, the whole third-party release part, this is where, from my understanding, and again, none of this is legal or financial advice. From my understanding, this is specific, or whether or not you opt out of third-party releases or not, this directly impacts you. So it doesn't matter what somebody else did. It doesn't matter what the majority of people did. It's not like voting for the plan in the sense where it either gets all approved or it doesn't, right? This is specific to you. So if you click this box, it means that you elect to opt out of third-party releases. So if you don't do anything or if you don't vote, you are essentially opting in to releasing third parties. So from my understanding, and again, not legal advice, clicking that box shouldn't have any negative consequences on you. It basically reserves your rights or allows you to sue them in the future, sue parties in the future, or if there is like a class action suit, you can then join and potentially get more recovery. And before I dive into a little bit more about third-party releases, I want to talk about claims market. And if you are still sitting on a claim and you would just rather depart from this entire process entirely, Claims Market is a marketplace where they list your claim and buyers of claims will bid on your claim. So these prices here, these are for $1 million claims or above. So if your claim is smaller, the prices that you're seeing here, 118 to 125%, they will be less. So you will just need to reach out to them and let them know the size of your claim. The process is easy. You can watch the explainer video and see how it works. You can also see the agreements right here, so there is nothing that you will be surprised about later on. And the reason that people are selling their claim is because we kind of know how much we'll get back, but we don't know exactly when yet. Currently, the amount of the initial distribution for non-convenience class claims, so claims above $50,000, we still don't know how much they will get or when for their initial distribution. Convenience class creditors, we have a better idea. It'll be around 60 days after the confirmation date of the plan. So that may be the very, very end of this year, probably Q1 of next year. And we know around how much we'll get back, around 119%. But with claims above 50K, there is still not any clarity, and there won't be any clarity, from my understanding, until the plan is confirmed about how much money they're going to get back for their initial distribution, and even when that initial distribution will be. So if you want to sell your claim or inquire about it, I'll include their information below in the description, the website, Twitter handles, all the different ways of reaching out to them and contacting them. So let's head back here to this Medium article on third-party releases. So they say, imagine you have a toy that broke and you want to decide whether to let someone off the hook for breaking it. Here's what the message is saying. And this sounds like ChatGPT wrote this, but that's okay. Third-party release. This is like saying, I forgive you for breaking my toy and I won't ask for a new one or any toys in the future. So replace toy with, I forgive you for stealing my money. The opt-out would be, if you don't want to forgive them, you need to say so by checking the box. If you don't check the box, it's like saying, I forgive you. So essentially, if you don't check this box, if you leave it unchecked, it's like saying you forgive the third parties. You forgive them for breaking your toy. If you check this box, in this analogy, it's saying that you do not forgive them. If you don't check the box, you are considered someone who forgives. You release them of wrongdoing, essentially. And here it says, and they could be wrong, I'm not a lawyer, no impact on recovery. Whether you forgive them or not, or whether you click that box or you don't, you'll still get the same amount of toys/money from the plan. And here they give examples of people that did not release third parties. They were able to sue them separately, and maybe they got more money down the road. And they give some examples of where this happened in Purdue Pharma and also PG&E Corporation. So that is up to you. That is all the information I kind of have about third-party releases. Again, everything I've read and heard, if you check this box, it's only upside. It's not going to negatively affect you. So clicking this box will not negatively affect you from everything I have read and heard. And after you do that, you basically just sign it, click submit, and you are done. So again, just a little bit of a summary or the things that kind of matter. August 16th at 4 p.m. Eastern is the last time or the last moment you can vote. Voting is not required, but it's something that you can do, and I would recommend that you do. We still don't know how much the initial distribution will be for those that have a claim above $50,000. And the wind down board will determine that, but I believe that board will go into effect after the plan is confirmed. And what's also kind of weird and annoying is that the examiner is requesting more time to dive deeper into its investigation. So the examiner may have to subpoena documents and take depositions because a lot of people supposedly just are not cooperating on their own. So this examiner report is going to come out most likely late September, but the voting is August 16th, right? So annoying that for some people this may make an impact on how they vote, but probably not for most people. I guess if you want to reserve your rights to sue them or, be a part of class action litigation in the future, clicking that box to opt out of third-party releases would be the most effective thing to do. So as of right now, October 7th is the hearing for the plan confirmation, and October 31st is when they hope the plan will go effective. Now, I suspect there will be plenty of objections to the plan, and I'm not quite sure if these dates take into account the time it takes to process objections like this. But the convenience class, again, $50,000 claims or less, they say they'll get to their 119% or so 60 days within the day that the plan goes effective. So if that is October 31st, that would be November 31st, December 31st. So maybe New Year's of this year, people in the convenience class will get their money, although it's a holiday, so it's not going to actually be New Year's. So my guess is it'll be Q1, first quarter of 2025. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. I'll include the links below to that article that I was referencing and other information as well. And again, if you want to inquire about selling your claim, I'll include the information for Claims Market below. Hope you guys are well. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.